Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got NBA Trade Machine Houston Rockets video by Sporting Logically. So these are always really cool videos, just because he goes over different like trade proposals and stuff like that, especially for the Rockets that are probably in need for a little bit, a little rehaul out there. But one of my subscribers actually sent me this video, requested it because apparently there's a Detroit Pistons trade here that they think I will like, or maybe I'll dislike it. We'll see. But yeah, man, link to Sporting Logically's channel in the description below. Let's get started on this, man.
Doing a Houston Rockets trade machine. I haven't done a trade machine video.
Y'all think they should stick with small ball, guys?
Let
me know in the comments.
I wanted to talk about specifically some things that we could come up with to try and help the Houston Rockets. And this might be the most difficult trade machine video that I've ever put together. I have two community suggestion ones and two ones that I came up with.
A lot of money locked in.
The Rockets roster and contracts are constructed.
Yep.
Pretty much everybody is either being paid a ton of money or they're role player guys like PJ Tucker and Robert Covington that are really essential to the roster. So it was difficult to come up with some options. That's why
Eric Gordon got like damn 20 million a season
for them,
doesn't he?
Why it would be difficult for them to kind of do anything moving forward other than just run it back. But we're going to do our best in today's video. And of course, thank you to everybody that sent me trades over on Twitter and in YouTube comments as well. But really quickly before we get started,
I mean, they did pull off CP3 for Russell Westbrook. I forgot who else was in that trade. Probably some draft picks, you would have to think, right? So, I mean, in theory, you would think Russell would have even more trade value than Chris Paul. I mean, at least compared to last season. Like, that was pretty impressive based off all that. So, we'll see what they do this offseason.
Consider subscribing. I upload basically every single day. And leaving a like rating is a great
daily upload squad, guys.
Content, and I promise it helps out the
part of that
when you guys leave those likes down below. With that said, let's go and get started. Really quick shameless plug here, though. By the time you guys are watching this, I will be live
or is it the new
Twitch,
new COD game?
Spolo_TD, playing some of the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Alpha that comes out today. If you want to come hang out, talk about basketball.
Guys, is that good? Let me know. Haven't played Call of Duty in a few years.
Okay, here we go with the first trade, and it involves the Houston Rockets and the Philadelphia 76ers. And
we got Al Horford, 2020 second round pick for Eric Gordon, Austin Rivers, and Ben McLemore. Okay, I do like this trade for the 76ers because you get some really good scorers out of it. For the Houston Rockets, I don't know if I really want to give up Austin Rivers or not because he was pretty solid towards like in the bubble, wasn't he? Ben was decent. Eric Gordon, obviously is injury prone, a little overpaid if you ask me. But Al Horford does kind of fit into, obviously he wouldn't be small ball anymore, but he's a very versatile center that would work out nicely, in the Rocket system regardless. So
the context here is that the Rockets hire a coach that needs a big guy. They say, you know what, I can't do this micro ball thing.
Can't do this PJ Tucker at center
on this roster. And they say, okay, we'll get you one. The Rockets would be receiving Al Horford in a second round pick in exchange for Eric Gordon, Austin Rivers, and Ben McLemore. And the idea here is that Al Horford's value in a trade is really not that high considering, how big his contract is going to be over the next couple of years. And he's still a good player and a player that can help Houston. So they really shouldn't have to give up a ton in exchange for Horford, a player his age.
I think I tossed Chris Clemens over Rivers.
And for the Sixers, they get a little bit more perimeter creation and playmaking, which is something that this roster does need. And they get rid of the Horford contract. So now you add a perimeter player in Eric Gordon alongside Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, definitely shrinks their lineup, which they need to do.
Be one of the better two-way teams in the league because Gordon can defend as well. And as long as he stays healthy, I think this is actually a pretty solid move for Philadelphia, again, from a long-term standpoint of getting out of the Al Horford money and also getting some.
Horford definitely is the best player in this trade, so
them to not feel like they have to play Joel Embiid and Al Horford at the same time. For Houston, I feel like this would just be kind of a necessity type move if the new coach feels like they have to have a big guy on the floor. Otherwise, they'd probably keep Gordon and keep going with this whole micro small ball unit type thing that they've been doing. The only other downside to this for Houston is they do have to give up a significant amount of their depth. They have to give up Austin Rivers.
Right, that's what I was looking at
as well, just to make the
Chris Clemens ready to go though.
And that can be a really, really tough thing for a Rockets team that really doesn't have a ton of depth to begin with. So that could definitely be a question mark, but they are getting a second round pick here. That's actually the Knicks' second round pick. So it's pretty high. Maybe they get some depth that way. Okay, next up is a variation of a trade that was sent to me a couple of different times over on Twitter. And Costa says, given the upcoming...
We got Vucevic for Eric Gordon, Daniel House, and a 2023 lottery protected pick. Okay, I like this trade for both sides because Vucevic gets to go to it because he's getting up there in age. It's like, he's still a really solid player. Wasn't an all-star this season, though, but... once again, another one of those versatile centers obviously would slow down the Houston Rockets, which I don't think is a bad thing, but would still allow them to run offense to be a high-volume three-point shooter. So I do like that. And Eric Gordon, Daniel House. Daniel House still a good young player. Eric Gordon gives the Magic some scoring, which they desperately need. Obviously, Lewis and Vucevic would, even hurt their scoring even more. But what also allows is for Mo Bamba to get a spot out there, right? To finally, hey, Mo Bamba, we're all in, man. We're all in with you. So I like the trade just from that standpoint. Plus, and as far as freeing up money, it frees up a little bit because 16 as opposed to 26 million.
So. Coaching change, Houston will probably be in.
Well, they also take out a $4 million deal from
the last
House.
Trade. And he says the Rockets would be receiving Nikola Vucevic in exchange for Eric Gordon, Daniel House, and a 2020.
I do like the trade. I do like it.
First round pick. So the mindset here is that the Magic are looking at their roster and they're thinking, okay, we're a good team. We're probably not going to be a great one with this roster. We have something in Mo Bamba.
Maybe
hopefully, let's see what we have there and let's get value out of Nikola Vucevic, while also getting some perimeter creation and playmaking that this roster has needed for a very, very long time.
And if the team is bad, you might get a good
let's just see how that works.
Pick in
2023. They're not going to be like a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference with their current roster. So maybe they change some things up. They move some of their front court talent into the backcourt, and they see how that opens things up for everything else. Plus, they get that extra first-round pick. And Daniel House is a nice player as well. So a nice couple of pieces there for Orlando in exchange for a player in
little assurance policy if
good,
Isaac is injured
maybe isn't a great fit for the roster. For Houston, it's a similar thing to the first trade where they're getting a 5-man. They have this new coach that says, you know what, I need a traditional big. And Vucevic comes with the added value as well, being able to shoot from the three-point line. And of course, his game doesn't fit perfectly here because
he's like a poor man's Jokic.
Defensively, nor is he really going to be this great floor spacing big all the time. He's going to want his post touches, which isn't really what Houston does. But under a new coach, maybe that will change, and Vucevic can be, a really nice scoring option for this Houston team. Now, if I'm the Magic,
because the Rockets doing the whole high volume, shooting 3-point shot thing. I do think their issue with them is they do become a little predictable at times. So by having a go-to post player like that, at least you can switch things up every once in a while.
I probably don't do this trade just because of the lottery protection on the pick. You don't know how that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I did not realize the lottery protection.
The Rockets might have blown it all up.
Right,
and
exactly.
That pick might end up
get rid of that.
A second-round pick. If this was an unprotected 2023 pick, I'd 100% do
this.
If
I agree with that.
Magic, even though Eric Gordon isn't like a young piece that you're getting in exchange for Vucevic. That's just kind of where I'm at on the Magic roster, that they need to figure out this
Vucevic like in his 30s anyway, I think.
They need to play a little bit more for the future, and I think that trading away Vucevic in this manner,
injury prone,
an unprotected pick, would work really well there. For the Rockets, I would probably do this as well, considering it's a lottery protected pick. I really like Daniel House as a player, but if you're talking about bringing in a new coach and things like that, I think bringing
Tucker at the 4, Covington at the 3,
at least a little bit of sense. Next up is the second trade that I was able to come up with, and this one I don't feel super confident about, if I'm completely honest.
Oh, what we got here? Blake Griffin and 2 second-round picks for Russell Westbrook. I actually just did a rebuild of this on my channel, Crispy Flakes, guys. I actually did it for both teams, so you want to check out those videos, man. And I've been hearing about it. Both rebuilds went bad. Just heads up on that. Honestly speaking, if I'm the Pistons, I mean, I don't think Russell Westbrook. It'd be fun. It wouldn't lead to much. It'd be fun, though. That's it. And he's not as injury prone as Blake Griffin is kind of what I get at with it.
It is the Detroit Pistons receiving Russell Westbrook in exchange for Blake Griffin and 2 second rounds.
What do you guys think?
So here's the mindset here.
Let's hear it.
The Rockets are looking at their roster. They're like, we need to do something different. The 2 ball dominant.
Plus Blake Griffin, I know he's coming off a bad injury season, but the season before he was playing his best basketball ever. He was an all-star.
Dominant guard thing just doesn't work for us. And Blake Griffin, 2 seasons ago, was an all-NBA caliber player.
Yes,
he had
sir.
Injury struggles last year, but let's try it out. Let's try Blake Griffin at the 5. Let's see what that would look like. And I think that would actually be really interesting, assuming he was healthy, especially in a
great passer.
That involves a lot of ball screens and things like that. And the added value of having a year less on his contract than Russell Westbrook. And if you're the Pistons, you're looking at this like, Blake Griffin might be completely done. Like, he might be one of the worst contracts in the league. He might not even be able to play anymore because of the injuries and stuff like that. Let's get Russell Westbrook. Let's get some fans in the stadium. Let's get people excited to come to Pistons games to watch.
I would go.
And maybe that works. I'm not fully confident that that's like an exciting proposition, really for either team, to be completely honest. But when you're really looking at this Houston roster and you're looking at potential trades specifically for
if we do get Russell Westbrook, I think the Pistons need to do something with Derrick Rose. I don't think Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook will work at all in the backcourt together. So I do think that's like a trade that needs to be, done. I've heard rumors of him go to the Clippers, maybe to the Lakers, maybe like a Kyle Kuzma, Derrick Rose type of thing would be kind of fun for Detroit too. I I like the idea of that. You got Russell, Luke Kennard. You still got the draft pick too, which at that point I don't really know what you use it for. Maybe a young prospect. So yeah, I mean, I don't. It's a fine trade. I don't think Blake Griffin has a lot of trading value because of his injuries and contracts. So if we were able to, get a Russell Westbrook out of it, it would be worth it.
Westbrook,
but
it gets really, really difficult because his value is pretty limited, and then you have the huge contracts, you have to match it, and it gets really tough to move Westbrook. I think this is one of the very few that I could actually see helping both teams, but
it would be a ticket seller.
I find it very hard to think that it's going to be anything realistic. Okay, but I did save the best for last year, and this is one that was sent to me over on Twitter.
We got the Rockets getting Rubio, Sarge, Miles Turner at 2020 first round. Damn, that's nice right there. Suns get Russell Westbrook, team up with Devin Booker, Chris Clemens, some second round picks, and it looks like the Pacers get Kelly Oubre. That's a nice trade. That's really nice. You put TJ Warren at the 4 spot, Sabonis at the 5, take care of that old school frontcourt thing they got going on there. I mean, the Suns become probably like the most exciting team, well, one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. We still need a power forward. And the Rockets, they get some good pieces out of it. I do like it. I do like the trade.
By Escuardo? He said, this trade would be good for everybody. The Pacers get rid of the Twin Towers by trading Miles Turner and add Kelly Oubre. Houston adds role players that complement Harden, and the Suns get a superstar they've been dying to have, and they would also kill the non-playoff streak. So the Rockets get Ricky Rubio, Dario Saric, Miles Turner, and a 2020 first-round pick from the Suns projected at 10. The Suns get Russell Westbrook,
that pick too.
Chris
Feel like a
Clemens,
Devin Vassell or something like that.
And the Pacers get Kelly Oubre. Right off the bat, the only question mark that I have here is why the Suns are giving up the 10th overall pick. I don't think that would happen.
That is a lot.
Scenario. Maybe there would be some other things that would happen here, but I think that's too much for them to be giving up in exchange for someone like Russell Westbrook. So for the Rockets, you're turning Westbrook in.
Well, yeah, I guess beyond that, who are they giving up though? Because Rubio, Dario Saric, and Kelly Oubre, they're giving up. It's a 3-team trade. I mean, that's quite a bit of value. So
a whole bunch of different stuff. Assuming we're taking the first round pick out of this, Saric is a nice front court player.
I think it'd be a future first one, not the 10th.
They're going to need to kind of sign and trade him for him to be involved. But I do like him as a player. Ricky Rubio can shoot a little bit, can defend a little bit. It's a good playmaker. Someone that just fits a little bit more within a team than someone like Russell Westbrook. And then Miles Turner obviously would be huge for them. There were a lot of Miles Turner's trades sent to me over on Twitter. And
that
his
defense,
versatility, his ability
Turner
to shoot,
and Tucker, Covington, damn,
would fit
even Rubio
perfectly in Houston. Would be such a cool fit to see. For the Suns, he already said it. They're getting the star player that they need. They're trying to make the postseason. They get Russell Westbrook. Probably not a great fit when you're talking about how good Devin Booker has been with the ball in his hands and how good that.
Yeah, it would be fun, but I don't know if it'd be good.
But if you're going with just the any star is a better option kind of scenario here, then I could see why the Suns would end up with Russell Westbrook. And then the Pacers, interestingly, get Kelly Oubre in exchange for Miles Turner, which I think is an awesome fit for them. They get another wing that can defend and can shoot. They open up the paint for Sabonis. Oubre can play the 4 as well. I think that's an awesome fit in
Makes
Indiana.
Makes it a lot quicker.
I would take away that first-round pick because the Suns are already giving up Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, and Dario Saric. I know they're getting Russell Westbrook back, but there's also some contract stuff there where it actually really helps, the Rockets to get rid of someone like Westbrook. So I don't think he has so much value that you need to also throw in that first-round pick there. So this is the best trade that was sent to me by far, honestly, just because it's so difficult to come up with really good Houston trades. But the 3-team stuff made this
everybody
really,
benefits
really good.
pretty much
so
from this one.
I appreciate you sending this one over to me. Really, really interesting. And yeah, I don't know what you guys have to say about these trades.
Well, yeah, I would probably say the best trade is the Russell Westbrook for Blake Griffin. Just my opinion, guys. Just my opinion, man. But no, it's a really cool video. I love these trade machine videos. So yeah, go subscribe to Sporting Logic. You guys go check out his channel. Looks like he's almost 200K subscribers. He's at about 90K actually, man. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all let me know your Houston Rocket trades in the comment section below. And peace out.